Alright guys, ZFR back again, and this is going to be my review for Mass Effect Andromeda, and man, I've got to talk about this game right now because I just finished playing the game a couple days ago, and I am ready to give my final thoughts on it. I'm ready to give my overview on it. But let me just start by saying the main point of this video is to kind of give everyone a general idea of what to expect from the game and to kind of help you decide whether or not you want to give this game your time and money. So, without further ado, we're going to get in this. Just for anybody who's worried, there will not be spoilers in this video. So, yeah, let's get into this. So, pretty much starting out, of course, I'm going to start with the number one thing everybody was talking about before this game came out. The one thing that was holding a lot of people back from giving the game a try, the facial animations. So, pretty much going into this, let me just say the facial animations are not the best in the world. I cannot deny that on any account. I won't deny it on any account. Because they're just not. There are definitely better facial animations out there, and they're definitely not up to par with some other games that have released in the recent years. So, yeah, the facial animations are a thing, but I want to make it very, very clear they are nowhere near as bad as everybody was trying to make them out to seem. Notice that in a lot of videos you see around YouTube talking about the facial animations, people take the moments where they're at their worst and just kind of combine them all bunched up together. And keep in mind, this is a long game. There are a lot of cutscenes, there's a lot of conversations, so there's plenty of examples they can go through to pick from. Not every second of it is like that. The facial animations are not constantly that bad to the point where it'll break the immersion for you. Like, you won't even notice it like 95% of the time. Like, I definitely didn't. As long as you're playing through the story and just enjoying yourself, you're not going to really notice the facial animations. They're not going to be a huge problem to you. So take my opinion and do not even let that be a factor to why you don't pick this game up. Don't even worry about that, because the game honestly has bigger problems than that. I'm going to go over those in a second. But yeah, the facial animation, once I played a couple, well, not even a couple hours, once I played like an hour or two in the game, I realized that that's so small of a thing that it wasn't even a problem. Let's talk about the story, alright? Moving on from that stuff. Let's talk about the story. Pretty much, this story is set 600 years after all the races from the Milky Way, you know, the humans, the Taurians, the Solarians, and the Krogan, have left the Milky Way galaxy for some apparent reason. Obviously, things aren't going so well back there. So, they pretty much come to Andromeda, which is the new galaxy that the game's going to take place in. And you play Ryder, the son or daughter of the old Pathfinder, and pretty much now, of course, the role is passed down to you as the new Pathfinder, and your job is pretty much to go across the galaxy, scout ahead of the Nexus and the Initiate in general that you came there with, and pretty much find planets that can be called home for humanity and all these other species that came to the galaxy. So pretty much, let me just start off by complimenting this game on the characters. Oh my god, the characters in this game are amazing. They really knocked the ball out of the park on this one. They outdid themselves. The dialogue is outstanding. Like, the banter between some of your crew members when you're out on missions is great. I love the whole crew system that they set back up with this game. Like, you still take two crew members out every mission with you, but you have like 8 to pick from, I believe, and they're all super interesting people, plus the ones that don't actually leave the ship with you. So I'm just telling you right now, in terms of like character interaction, character development and stuff, this game, it exceeds. Like, this game excels in all of the fall in categories under that. So don't even worry about that. Also, the game does have a really solid story. There are some pretty emotional moments throughout the game, and I thought they were really well done. I really was surprised by how good the story was in this game, especially since it does actually take a second to open up to you. Now, be prepared, the first hour of this game, or the first hour and a half, depending on how fast or how slow you run through the first mission, it actually can be a little, like, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't into it at all for the first mission or so, but after that, once we start really getting things rolling, like, dude, it was good. And looking back at the beginning was actually not that bad. Like, you realize that once you get to the end of the game, you realize the beginning was just trying to introduce you to an awesome cast of characters. So, moving on, pretty much let's talk about the gameplay. Now, this is kind of like the story in a way. It took a second to open up to you and get better. Now, pretty much the gameplay I wasn't feeling at first, but it really did grow on me. Once you figure it out, you have to kind of use all your abilities, you have to use your weapons, and you have to use like your jump pack and everything all together combined to kind of be efficient at the combat and the gameplay and just all the systems in the game. Like, it really does grow on you. You really do start to like it. I hear some people complain about the scanner. I mean, you either like it or you don't. I thought it was a pretty decent thing. I thought it was alright. Like, I didn't mind it at all. Could the game survive without? Probably, but I really don't see it as a negative in the game. I would count it as a slight positive or just a neutral, however you want to go about that. But also, like, the game, like, just was beautiful. Like, the graphics, like, are pretty darn good in this game. I've got to admit, like, the game has some pretty beautiful views in and all that kind of stuff. So if you're a graphics freak, don't worry about that. That is up to par. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not anything insanely realistic, but it looks pretty darn good at points. So yeah, it looks good for what it is. That's what I'm trying to say. For the art style and everything, looks pretty darn good. Moving on, the variety in the game. Plenty of new enemy types. Really, there's only 3 new enemy races, but there are more enemy types than that. So just keep that in mind. But there's only 3 new races that you're really going to interact with a lot. And those are the Angara, the Ket, and then the Remnant. And out all of them, I'm going to say I really do like them. The Angara were interesting to learn about and stuff. The Ket is going to be the main enemy in the game, and pretty much I like them. Like, they kind of remind you a lot of Hitler and the Nazis once you get into the story a little bit more. And like, it just kind of reveals some big stuff about them. It's just like, holy crap, that's when the story really starts to blow up. And then you have the Remnant, who are just kind of there. I would say they're the big neutral factor and all the different factions you're going to be meeting and stuff. And I will say the Remnant are probably the least interesting out of all of them, even though they play a massive part in this game. I feel like the fact that they didn't just have any backstory of their own, or there wasn't any, you know, like, straight up characters for them or anything, like, you just kind of didn't care about them as much as the other races. You just kind of cared more about what they can do for the story. So, which they did a lot for the story. The story is actually pretty good thanks to them. So, just keep that in mind. But yeah, other than that, like, the enemy types are really great. And then there's the weapons, plenty of different types of weapons and everything. I haven't even used all of them yet, so that just goes to show you there's a lot of different types of weapons. All the abilities and skills you can unlock, the different play styles you can have in the game are really great. One thing I will say, one down I will put in the game, One thing that I will say was kind of a con was that there wasn't much of a stealth system. I would really appreciate a little more of a stealth system in this game. I feel like any game like this, big and open world, could really benefit from one. So I wish they did put something more like that in there. But you know, it's not really that bad because the combat, like I said, is really great the way it is. So you won't really care once you get to playing. But anyway, the difficulty, the AI was really good, all that stuff. Just great all around in the gameplay aspect and just like the terms of the actual game, the structure of the game, the open world feel of this game was really nicely done. You get these maps and they're not the biggest maps out there, but they're big enough to feel like an open world map, and you have all these different planets, so you get a ton of different locations. Like there are so many different locations you go to. The variety there in the environment is going to definitely be there. It's going to feel great. You're really going to like it, and and just the fact that you meet so many new characters in these different environments is really fun. Like so that's going to be great, and there's different factors to all of it that you have to kind of solve as you go along. Then there's the whole, I'm just gonna go ahead and say the vaults. That's what they're actually called in game. I was trying to figure out where I should actually say that or not, because I don't know if that's considered a spoiler, but they're just called vaults, and they're gonna be these big places you go into for certain things, and they're they're a nice addition to the game. It kind of adds almost like a Tomb Raider / Uncharted investigating kind of feel to the game, and it does it really well in my opinion. So the mystery factor in this game is here. Like I love the sense of mystery you get, and the way you solve it is satisfying. The ending of the game, let's talk about the ending really quickly. The ending is really good. I will say some people are probably going to be upset about the final boss because it was kind of a rehash of enemies you fought throughout the game, plus one big enemy that you had already fought previously. But at the same time, like that wasn't really the impactful part about the last mission. The last mission of the game in general is very satisfying. It ends the game on a very satisfying note, and even leaves it open for a sequel, or I guess in this case it would be the 5th game, because Mass Effect 3 and then this one, and yeah, so you know it leaves it open for another game is what I'm saying. And pretty much like overall, I just think Mass Effect Andromeda is a great game, but at the same time there are a few technical issues. Like there are some times where the game would kind of glitch out on me and my character would be stuck for a minute or two. Like that happened, but it seemed like they came out with a patch and that kind of toned that down a lot. And there were some issues with some enemies being stuck in rocks and you just not being able to get to them. That was also a big issue. So just keep that in mind when you're playing the game. There are small things like that, but they weren't so back to back in the game to a point where it just ruined the experience for you. You just were like, I need this to be fixed now so I can keep going, because you just want to keep going. So yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda was a really great game. I'm going to give it a score of a 9.2 out of 10 because it was just really good. Now, please keep in mind, I actually didn't play any of the multiplayer, so that's a whole nother aspect to the game I'll have to cover a different time. But like the single player alone is a big enough reason to buy this game. It's really good, guys. So anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I will be doing some really awesome videos on Mass Effect coming up with character builds and stuff, so keep your eye out for that. That is going to be great. I'm really excited for that. So yeah, anyway, game was awesome, guys. I loved it. I know you guys will love it. I definitely recommend it. I highly recommend it. Give it a try, see if you like it, see if you don't. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, really help me out. Let's see if we can get the 200 subscribers by the time June rolls around. And Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you guys on the next video. ZFR out.